One of the problems with recruiting for investment banking is not the knowledge or skills you acquire, but the access to talk with real investment bankers to put your best foot forward. Our sponsor, WSO Academy, can provide those connections with 60 head mentors who are finance professionals at top firms like Goldman, Centerview, and JP Morgan. Imagine being able to get on the phone within 24 hours with one of the Academy's 1,300 mentors right before a critical interview. Get on the waitlist for WSO Academy today by clicking the link in the show notes or by visiting wallstreetoasis.com/academy. Today, we'll be talking about niche topics as you prepare for your Super Day on Investment Banking Insights. All right. Welcome to Investment Banking Insights. This is the only show dedicated to helping you learn both the technical and non-technical aspects of the investment banking process. My name is Alex Mason. I am your host, and I'm feeling good. Just got back home literally a couple hours ago. It's like, let me turn the microphone on. I haven't published an episode today. I was on the plane this morning, so here we go. Let's talk about the Super Days. I want you to really be prepared for your Super Days, and we've done some work already talking about a couple of important things. Number one, the mindset that you should have, or that is helpful to have when approaching your Super Day interviews. It is going to be a lot, mentally and emotionally. So just prepare by envisioning success. Think positive, kind of basic advice, but honestly, I think it gets overlooked. So think about that, and then also master your basic technical questions. You want to really just be good at your bread and butter technicals, right? So that's another thing. Also, your basic behaviorals. The inevitable questions that we talked about way back at the very beginning of this podcast are going to apply here. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Why investment banking? Why our firm? These are questions that you really need to have down to a T at this phase of the process. And now, once you've done all of those things, you can review niche topics. Consider looking at advanced topics for technical questions specifically in order to really just be at the top of your game. Because when you think about it, what has everybody else done in their preparation? Everybody else has probably studied the question, walk me through a DCF. Everyone else has probably studied, tell me about yourself and have their pitch down pat. But what is going to separate a good candidate from a great candidate? And I believe there's kind of two things. Number one is your behaviorals are just better. Like, you're more personable. You can have a conversation and it flows better. You connect with the person on the other side of the table more easily. I think that's part of it. And that's, of course, hard to quantify because it's more subjective. But then the other piece of it is the great candidates are really good with their understanding. You can peel back the layers of a specific concept, and that candidate is really going to understand things at a deep level. So once you've kind of mastered the basics, I think it's good to visit the more advanced topics like the ones we've discussed on this show. So go beyond those basic level questions. And even though you may not be asked a very advanced question in a Super Day, you may get asked a very advanced question in a Super Day. So you want to be prepared. So here's some examples of some more niche or advanced topics, just a sampling of things to think about. Explain the mid-year convention for discounted cash flow. What are deferred tax assets? What are deferred tax liabilities? Describe some elements of a stock purchase agreement. What are net operating losses and how do they impact the financial statements? How do you calculate revenue synergies? How do you calculate cost synergies? How does the valuation of a financial firm differ from other types of companies? And if you're interviewing for specific industries or specific groups, know the industry-specific terminology and ratios that are pertinent for that group. For example, if you're working with financial firms, you want to understand that net income is a little bit more of a better thing to use for ratios than EBITDA, because net income includes interest income and interest expense, whereas EBITDA explicitly excludes it. So you want to understand things like that. Or maybe you're recruiting for the oil and gas industry, energy, or you're recruiting for Regal, which is real estate, gaming, and lodging. That's another group. And there are some specific ratios that those groups tend to prefer. And these are very niche. Just make sure that you understand them, and definitely go check out some of the older episodes if you want to understand some of the more niche topics, both advanced as well as more niche in terms of industry. So that's what I would focus on next. Once you've got your basics down, build up your advanced niche knowledge and practice it. So once we've got that down, what do we need to do next? There's a couple other steps that I would recommend in preparation for the Super Day. So next time we're going to be talking about research for the specific bank that you're going to be interviewing with. All right, that'll be next time here on Investment Banking Insights. My name is Alex Mason and I am your host. Thank you for listening to the show. Thank you for checking it out. Thank you for sending me messages of your Spotify Wrapped, by the way. Some of you have literally listened to over 1,000 minutes of the show. Some of you, one person I know, a friend of mine, they've listened to over 2,000 minutes of this show. And I am really humbled by just you guys. You guys are amazing. Just absolutely crushing it with learning all this stuff. And I appreciate you guys sending me those messages. But I hope you're doing great, and I'll see you on the next one.